Okay, folks, welcome to another segment of the Vol TV Primetime Show. Right here, I'm your host, Nelson Mike Madamrioki. And just remember, as usual, this broadcast is live streaming concurrently on six other platforms, which also includes the Nelson Mike Podcast YouTube channel, the Canal Facebook page, the A Collection Facebook page, my private Facebook page, and also on Twitter at Vo Television. This is another breaking news here at Vo TV, and it's a unique case. It's a unique case. I actually finished doing my other broadcast with Margaret Wairimo's family and also with Edna Kemunto's uncle. And then this case was forwarded to me. This time, an unthinkable tragedy has hit here in the USA. It's a story of a mother of two who is Kenyan. And by the way, her names are NJOKI Muchemi. I'm going to put that image right here. That's NJOKI Muchemi. And we also have a second image of NJOKI Muchemi with her family, her husband, and two children. And we're going to get into those details right now. An unthinkable tragedy that has left a family of four, all dead. All of them. All of them. NJOKI Muchemi, dead. The 17-year-old daughter, dead. The 11-year-old daughter, dead. And the husband, also dead. Vo TV jumps or we look into the facts of this case. This tragedy took place this past weekend. A Kenyan here in America, married to a Black American, has lost her life, her two children, and the husband is dead. I'm going to actually give her, I'm going to first of all dive into the specifics of the story. So let me come here. And let's look at the press report. Let's look at the press report. Because I started looking at different articles. So let me come here. And then we can look at the specifics of this case. So here we And the headline, Coroner identifies 4 family members killed in apparent murder-suicide in Valley Station. So that's, you can see all this, that's where it took place. So the Jefferson County Coroner's Office has identified the 4 people killed Saturday morning in an apparent murder-suicide. The victims have been identified as 49-year-old Mary Stanton, 17-year-old Adriana Stanton, 11-year-old Brianna Stanton, and the 60-year-old Gary Stanton. The Louisville Metro Police Department said they've responded to a report of a shooting in the 4500 block of East Pages Lane off Dixie Highway around 8:45 a.m. on Saturday morning. That means that was yesterday. So yesterday morning at 8:45 a.m. But that's when this happened. The victims, right here. So the husband was the aggressor. And I'm actually gonna, that's right here. So when police arrived at the scene, they say they found 4 people dead: an adult man, an adult woman, and 2 juvenile girls. Police believe that Gary Stanton shot Mary, Adriana, and Brianna before turning the gun on himself. LMPD's homicide unit is handling the investigation. So that's a report by WLKY. Let me come back here and try to pull up another, because there are more articles. That's a good thing. Here in America, they're very, they're fast with how they report cases. And let's see if I can get, there was another press report that I was looking at right here. So let me look at this article published by the WDRB. And let's see what they're saying. What a tragedy. And again, I repeat, I'm gonna give a closing statement to this case. So this is, you see what it says? It says, nothing seemed off. Family devastated after father kills wife and daughters at home near Valley Station. Nothing seemed off. And again, I'm gonna step into this. I'm gonna give my statement. Nothing seemed off. Let me see that there's some pictures here. Here are some pictures. The family. These are the kind of stuff that really. And this again here, that's NJOKI and the 2 daughters. All gone. So let's see what they're saying here on this article. Says family members are devastated after 4 people were found killed at a home near Valley Station on Saturday, 8:45 a.m. On Saturday morning, Louisville Metro Police found a man, a woman, and 2 girls dead after a shooting on East Pages Lane. LMPD say the man shot the woman and 2 girls before shooting himself. Mary, 49, Adriana, 17, and Brianna Stanton, 11, are the victims in the shooting. The article concludes by saying that Gary Stanton, 60, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to the coroner's office. LMPD say Gary Stanton is the husband to Mary and father of the 2 girls. A tragic event that has affected a member of the Kenyan community here in the United States of America. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my personal story. Again, shout out to those who are watching on Facebook and those watching on Twitter. If you're new to this platform, follow these platforms, subscribe to the channels. I remember when I left Kenya, and that was 97, to Germany. I arrived in the country and I remember seeing on the news domestic violence cases whereby it's either the husband kills the entire family, then kills himself, or the wife kills the husband and then takes her own life. Although you're welcome. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell is going on here? I'm talking about 1997. That's when I left Kenya, right? I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, because at those days where we come from, that was something that was, we never used to hear about that kind of nonsense. I mean, now it's happening even in Kenya. So don't get that twisted. But back, like, if you look like back in the 90s, like in Kenya, a case like this was very rare. But when I came to Europe, it was like every single week, or every second day, every third day. And there's one case in particular I'll never forget. There was a German guy, I think it was somewhere in Munich. This German husband killed the wife, or wiped off the kids, killed the kids, and he was taken to court. And he didn't even get a lawyer for the case. He said, I'm gonna defend myself. So he didn't get a lawyer. And the judge asked him, he was like, yo, so why did you kill your wife and why did you kill the kids? And I will never forget, because it was a huge story on the news. And he said, it was cheaper for me to kill my wife than filing for a divorce. I was like, what the heck? That's exactly what he said in court. Now, I know my folks back home, back in Kenya, we don't have these kind of cases, these kind of cases happening in America or Europe or Australia. But let me focus on Europe and America for now. You don't have a lot of these cases, or you rarely find a case like NJOKI's where it's affecting a Kenyan. But I'm gonna tell you this. These type of cases, they are common amongst Americans, amongst Europeans. They're very common. The husband killed the wife and the kids, and the wife killed the husband and the kids. Like, they actually like you'll find, like, in Europe and in America, they even have special shows, like TV shows and radio stations, and right now you have like podcasts where they specifically address these kind of cases, where they specifically feature these kind of cases. And in most cases, you find it's all about divorce, finances, uh, somebody got cheating, and this person lost his mind or lost her mind. But also, there's the issue of mental health. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of you know a lot of information of exactly what transpired and what led to Gary shooting, killing his wife and killing his two daughters, and then killing himself. But if you look at the article, like the one that we're looking at right here, look at the headline. It says nothing seemed off. You see that? Nothing seemed off. Everything looked normal. Everything looked normal. Nothing seemed off. Um, I was actually I actually saw another post where they actually mentioned that I think Njoki's birthday was on Monday, and he wrote the most beautiful message or something. I don't something like that. I just read somewhere. I saw that, but again, these kind of cases, these kind of domestic suicide cases, are very common in Europe and in America. The only thing that is uh, shocking is the fact that now a member of our community, of our own community, is the victim. Let me come over here. Let me look at this picture. Let's come here. Let's come here. And okay, so it's keeps on, but it's fine. But these are the two daughters right here. 17-year-old and the 11-year-old. That's the husband. And if I'm not wrong, he's definitely Black American. So because I see, although it is asking, are they all Kenyans? So this is breaking news right here on Vote TV. I'm just addressing this right now. I'm gonna get more information, and I'm gonna keep on updating you guys. And this is this statement right here. Gary Stanton, 60, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Okay. But let's come back to the headline. Nothing seemed off. Most of these cases, once they happen, and I can tell you that most of these, to the outside world, they just like the family looked normal. Nothing was off. Nothing seemed off. And then so when something of this nature happens, of course, people are gonna be shocked. People are gonna be surprised and ask questions like, what's going on here? Well, what's happening? How did you know? But this is something that has affected a member of a Kenyan community, NJOKI Muchemi. And again, I'm just giving that as as it's breaking news here on Vote TV, but I'm sure it's going to start picking up on other social media platforms. mental health? Is that an issue? Could that be the cause of this happening? You know, but they are so thorough with them. They are so. I mean, that's a good thing about the U.S. They are so thorough when they do the investigation. So I'm sure that we're gonna get a lot. A lot is gonna come out. You know. So my folks back in Kenya, this kind of domestic suicides are very common in Europe, in America. Very common. I just want to make sure that I clarified that out of the way. In Kenya back in the days, we never used to hear this. But I also know that now, even now, in Kenya, it's also happening. Not at the scale that it happens in America or it happens in Europe. Not that scale. You can't even compare. You can't even compare. Feel so. See the sad thing, he killed the wife, and then he kills the children. Now, when that is one, I mean, for me, look, number one, nobody deserves to lose his or her life this way. Nobody. But then when something like this goes on, and then it just affects, it affects the kids. Kids are gone. You're killing an 11-year-old for what? You're killing a 17-year-old for what, man? What did those kids do to you, man? Like, seriously. And also, I'm also gonna be, I'm gonna be very, 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 very open on this one. How many Kenyans, and that should be like a separate subject. But you rarely find Kenyans who are married to Black Americans here. Really, rarely. In Europe, is like Kenyans. Now, let me talk about Kenyan women. Mostly, you'll find a big percentage with Wazungus. That's very common. Here in the US, like, even from my circle of Kenyans that I know, I don't know anyone who's married to a Black American. Really. And I'm just saying he's Black American due to the fact, his name, Gary Stanton. So I can pick on that. Maybe he could be, I don't know, he could be from Jamaica or from Haiti or whatever. I don't know, but it's very rare. A small percentage. And I do stand to be corrected. When I came to America, that was the first thing I was like, what's going on here? You find mostly Kenyans, they stick to their, they get married to other Kenyans. They hold like this. So it's pretty shocking. For me personally, is I always ask that question: why go for the kids? Even if it's like you're having issues with your wife or your husband or whatever, like, why do they make the choice of why do these kind of people, why do they pick on the children, and for what? And by the way, to all the viewers out there, like, if you have any questions or if there's something you'd like to say about this, Be my guest. And actually, I'm keeping these broadcasts. I'm going to keep this entire show completely in English. Just FYI. Because again, there's a lot of lessons that we can all extract from this particular case, and I can bring the insight. Me being on the other side, I can bring a lot of insight, either to my Kenyans back home, or mostly to my Kenyans back home, because a chunk of folks that follow my platforms are in Kenya. Keshi Rose, I see you. Saying, Jesus Christ, what's really happening? What's really happening, yeah. Waboy saying, I think it's demonic. Share your thoughts, drop a comment. While you do that, I'm gonna give you some time to just drop a comment while we take 30 seconds commercial break right here on VoTV Prime Time Show. Okay, thank you very much. And again, you tuned in to VoTV Primetime Show. I'm your host, Nelson Murioki. A special coverage of a story, a tragic story of NJOKI Muchemi, a Kenyan here in the USA who has been killed. Her 2 children have been killed, and the husband, who was the aggressor, took his own life. Let me dive into the comments straight away. Let me see. Favor Bahati is saying, many marriages are suffering outside there, but hiding under the carpet in the name of protecting my marriage and my spouse, and of course the kids and stuff like that. But at the end of it all, suicide is committed. Yep, you're right. You're right. The marriage you're suffering, for example, you see, I won't even refer to this particular marriage, but I'm talking like even in other cases that you see all the time. You hear the neighbor saying, "Hey, we thought everything was fine," or actually, we had dinner last night, but now here we are. The whole family is gone. Who? Do you all remember the case of the guy who killed his wife and his 2 daughters, and threw the kids in a water tank? Do you remember that case? It happened here in the U.S. But like the guy, like a happy couple. The world, in the eyes of the world, it was a happy couple. And then the next thing, this guy, the wife came from a trip, from a business trip, and she was pregnant. So by the way, yeah. So he killed the wife. The wife was pregnant, and then he killed both daughters. Let me actually see if I can get that like real, because what it is asking, that it's actually that case was actually featured on Netflix. There's there's a Kikuyu proverb which says, and I can say that it says "Mishie ne dog," and if I do my best in translating that, it's like every time you see, like if you see a house, regardless of how beautiful everything might look like from the outside, there's always smoke hovering above it. And I'm trying to see if I can get that. Yeah, like even if it's like you just go on Google and type in a man kills wife and kids. Let me actually show you that right now, just for you to understand how common this thing is in America and Europe. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna come here. Let me come here. So just for you to see. You see? Okay, let me type man kills wife and kids. You see right here? It's the top result right here. Look, if I click on that, look at the top stories. Illinois man fatally stabs wife, 2 kids, mother, and pet before killing himself. That's the top story right here. And guess what? This was 2 days ago. This was 2 days ago. You all see what I'm talking about? Look at the top 3. This is 2 days ago. This guy right here, he stabbed his wife, 2 kids, mother, and pet. The guy even killed the pet. Let's actually look at this story. And that's what I was trying to even explain to you guys. Like here in America, these cases are so common. Look at that. The Illinois man fatally stabs wife, 2 kids, mother. This guy even killed the pet before killing himself. Right here. Look at this. The bodies of the girls were found along with those of 2 women and a man Wednesday inside the home. This was in Buffalo. Kislyak. You see? This guy even killed the pet. He even killed the pet. So maybe it was a dog. Like in most cases, it's dogs. And look at the victims. Okay, here we go. I wanted to check on that. Look at the victims right here. Look at the victims right here. Look at the victims. The husband, 39 years old. The wife, 36 years old. Then there's Vivian Kislyak, 6 years old. Then there's he killed his own mother too. Lillian Kislyak, 67 years old. And then there's another daughter, 4 years old. This happened in Buffalo Grove, Chicago. So this, so this is what I'm talking about. Like that, these cases are very common. Every single day in America, in Europe, you find these cases. They are very common. Very, very common. Anyway, it's sad what has happened. It's really sad what has happened. And again, because this is someone from our community. This is a Kenyan. This is a Kenyan. Regardless, we always say, it doesn't matter where you at. You could be in Europe, you could be living in America, you could be living in the Middle East. It doesn't matter. We are Kenyans. Regardless of the fact that regardless of what that we've adopted, like we came here and we are living their lifestyle. We never forget we never ever forget where we come from. So when news like this one break here, a Kenyan being killed, wife, the 2 kids, it's painful. It's painful. I see the latecomers are here. Joyce Valeria, welcome. Yvonne is here. Welcome. Madam President is late. But just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. But I hope that I've been able to nail that point home, that you understand cases of domestic suicide in America are very, very high, actually. You see, I even pulled this thing up. This guy, for example, I said the top story, Fox 5 News, New York. He killed his wife, killed his 2 kids, his mother, and the pet. That means nothing was left in that house. See, look here. Another husband is killed. Okay, look at this. Husband killed after finding wife with another man in Lauderhill. Police say 2 children home at time of shooting. See, if you just keep on scrolling down, a man killed his wife, children, stabbed children in murder. You're gonna see these millions, thousands of these cases, man. Here you go. Man kills himself and wife in front of their kids of a fight. It's just this kind of headlines. A Florida man kills his wife, slashes his own throat in front of his 3 kids. See? So to my folks, I just wanted to make sure that I bring this point home, especially for my Kenyans who are back home in Kenya, or even those who could be like my folks in the Middle East or whatever. Like, if you see this happening, this kind of incidences are very common in Europe and in America, but unfortunately, very rare in our community. But unfortunately, this time around, a Kenyan is a victim. So this case is under investigation. It's being investigated. So definitely a lot is going to come out. And like I say, they do thorough investigation here. Like, they don't play. When it comes to homicide, Americans don't play. So I'm sure there's a law that's going to come to life. Look, again, the family. I'm going to keep on updating this story. So check all my platforms, check all Vote TV platforms as we proceed. Let me see what someone is saying here. Although you say most of these people doing the killings are deep in devil worshipping, trust me, listen, this is When it comes to Europe and America, it doesn't have to do with devil worshiping. Listen, trust you me, it has nothing to do with devil worshiping. It's not like some kind of sacrifices, and that's why, again, that's where the mindset comes in. This is not. Don't look at it from the Kenyan perspective. Okay, I'm giving you the other side of. I'm giving you the reality from the other side, and I've been living abroad since 1997, 1996. In Europe, it's very common. In America, it's very common. Like it has nothing to do with devil worshiping. But of course, it's a spiritual warfare. Grace One Boy, I see your comment, Lord Jesus. Who else is here? Let me see what they're saying. Yeah. I feel, again, why kill the children? See where I'm coming from? Wow. Why kill the children, man? 17 years old and 11 years old, gone just like that. You've taken their future. You've taken, like, it's so sad, man. So sad. So sad. So sad, man. So sad. And I bet, based on his name, Gary Stanton, that he's Black American. And for those who are joining in right now and those who came late and found the broadcast in progress, like I said, you don't find many Kenyans married to Black Americans here in America. Nope. Now, the issue of Kenyan women, especially Kenyan women that have gone through hell because of being married to either Wazungus or foreigners. Now that's another chapter. That's another. Okay, Yvonne, let me tell you. Let me. That's a very good question. And now I'm gonna make something clear to you. You see, you're asking the question, why didn't he resolve in making a divorce? Okay, fine. You make a divorce. Then remember, like here in America, they'll check, like, okay, how much money is he earning? Then they'll go to court and then they will break that down, like how much you're supposed to pay as for the kids, child support, there's spousal support. Then they might start including some other expenses or other fees that he is supposed to pay. And I'm going to address that. I'm going to talk about that, by the way, Yvonne Mirimo. And you find, let's say, for example, they had properties that they owned and they had both names on the property. Let's say, for example, they have bank accounts that they owned, and they have bank accounts, sharing under the same name. Let's say they shared bank account. Again, they shared bank accounts, property, all that stuff. You find at the peak of the conflict in the marriage, these two parties, everything is just, how do I put it? It's like the devil has paid you a visit. The husband ain't seeing the wife eye to eye, and the wife ain't seeing the husband eye to eye. And then you have the kids right in the middle. Then they get caught up in all this. And maybe this is just one of these folks who said, you know what, it's easier for me to, why lose lose what I've built? I'm taking everybody with me. So that's what you see in most cases that involve domestic suicide. So just breaking down that for you, Mirimo. Okay. So I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes. You can, if you wanna add something to it, just to finalize this broadcast. because I just had another show before I started this broadcast right here. Remember, just watch the Edna Kemunto's uncle was here. Gilbert was here. The funeral, Mazishia Edna, ni Wednesday, and Azikwa Wednesday. That has been confirmed. And please keep the family of Margaret Wairimo in prayers. The mom was here, the son was here, as we continue looking for Margaret Wairimo. Hatujui pahali yuko. After that video, we also akiwa Saudia, akiwa pale kwa airport. Check their broadcast. Yvonne Mirimo about being lenient, that actually has nothing to, there's no leniency in that. These are laws that's what the Constitution says. These are laws that have been set by the countries. Both are saying America and Europe. And by the way, you know what? Do you know who makes a lot of money in America and Europe? Divorce lawyers. They make a lot of money. Because like right now, the divorce rate in America and Europe is like, if I'm not wrong, above 80%. Above 80%. 80%. And this doesn't, I'm talking about from the billionaires. I mean, did you see Jeff Bezos getting divorced? Did you see Bill Gates getting divorced? I'm talking about from billionaires to multi-millionaires to all the way down, all the way to the bottom. There's always, and you find these fights are so deep. These fights are so deep. And I feel this hurts. Okay. By the way, I think I found someone sent me a message, Yvonne. But again, this platform, I'll just keep on saying this is Vote TV. Okay, let me give an example, Yvonne. You know how I do things here. If I break a story here, like this live stream right here, it's broadcasting on 7 platforms, which means there are 7 different platforms watching this live stream. So it's 7 shows, right? If I bring out one post, it's on 7 platforms at the same time. There are comments on TikTok. I don't do TikTok for now. But Twitter, my Facebook pages, YouTube channels. Okay. For me personally, everything that is brought to me, there's a vetting process. So when the story of that 17-year-old was brought to me, because I see you put that in the comment section, it came with a clean blueprint saying this is what was posted, this is exactly what was being said. Now, Yvonne, don't forget, because you've been here. Didn't I have a 21-year-old who was crying for help? Who was taken to, no, she was 19 that was crying for help. Remember her? How many underage girls have we seen being trafficked? Way too many. So I don't take that thing lightly. And I get thousands of messages a day, not hundreds, thousands. That's not even comments. So I will go back and reevaluate that and see what's going on. Okay. So I'm mentioning that because, again, I repeat, you are an asset to this platform. Okay. So thank you very much. To the family of NJOKI. Oh yeah, let's actually and I'm gonna start talking about this. I'm gonna start digging deep into these cases of divorce, by the way. Caroline Melly saying, yeah, divorce is not easy. E.g. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. And hey, woo, Caroline, now you're talking about billionaires. Those are billionaires. And if you break down billionaires in Kenyan shillings, you're talking about trillionaires. I mean, the kind of wealth that Kim Kardashian has with Kanye West, they can buy the whole country. Okay, unfortunately, because of some stuff that's happening, because Kanye West is losing his damn mind, he went from being a billionaire. They dropped the contract with Adidas was dropped. Now he's out here. He went from $2.6 billion net worth. He's now worth $400 million right now. That's his new net worth. Right? I'm just talking about Caroline. Thank you very much. So, and still, did you see the divorce settlement was how much he has to pay? He has to pay $200,000 a month. Then they got property. Then they got the businesses. Not just one business. It's multiple businesses. Okay? Where you have assets, when it comes to the evaluation of the assets, that's why you find this, even the wealthiest of the wealthiest, like just having issues. Right? Because you ain't seeing eye to eye. Like at that point, like you ain't seeing each other eye to eye. You ain't talking to each other. Now you went from oh, we love each other now to I hate you. Yes. Although he's asking what? Yes. Kanye West is paying 24 million shillings a month. Now, see, let me break that down in shillings for you to just understand, for you to understand what's happening. Did you see how he went crazy after? By the way, Carol, you there? Did you see how he went crazy after the divorce settlement was announced? Going to InfoWars and doing some of this, doing a crazy interview. And by the way, this is actually, I'm digressing here from the subject. They should even just go like this. Did you see the way he went crazy? He has gone cuckoo right now. He has gone cuckoo. So, you guys out there, just do your research. I mean, you have your smartphones and all that. Okay. A sad event has happened in the U.S. An unthinkable, tragic event has happened in the U.S. and it has affected a member of our community. That's the bottom line. She's Kenyan. Yvonne is saying, let me ask, Yvonne is saying, let them borrow the Kenyan constitution whereby you can get what you look together. Yvonne, that's a joke for the day. Telling America to borrow from the Kenyan constitution. Talk to some Americans and they will even ask me, is Kenya a country? Story of my life. Keep an eye on Vote TV. Keep an eye on all my platforms right here on YouTube, the YouTube channels, the Facebook pages, Twitters. Keep an eye. I'm going to keep on updating this story. I'm also going to publish an article on the website at voicesoftheoppressed.com. And from here to the family, our sincere condolences. And we will keep on talking about this. Okay? Thank you, Atoidi. Thank you, Carol. And everybody else, I wish you a beautiful Monday. Stay safe. To the married couples, love each other. Love your children. Love is everything. Love is everything. And this is a story that I'm going to bring light into. I'm going to shed some light into this story. Okay? I'm going to give you an update on this case. And I'll catch up with you later. Okay? Thank you very much. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channels as we continue to grow. Vote TV YouTube channel, the Nelson Mike Podcast YouTube channel. Those who are on Facebook, follow the pages. And I'll catch you in my next segment. God bless you and stay safe.